Hi, good evening and welcome. Welcome to the Medium channel where we bring you the spirituality behind the message to help you to awaken. And if you're here watching this as a video, not on the live stream, I will start in a minute or two. I just like to give the live people a moment to get their notifications and to come in. I'm going to do this pretty much the way I do a video. So I'm not planning on this being a long live stream today. Let's get the information out there and get on with our evenings. So yes, a lot's going on. Happy full moon, happy 1010. We're in that 1010 energy and portal. 10 is the wheel of fortune in the tarot, as well as in Chaldean numerology, and it reduces to a 1. And we have an Aries full moon, so there's a lot of new beginnings. One's about new beginnings. The sign Aries is about new beginnings. Great time for manifestation, and I'll probably talk to that. Oh, I see one of the two birthday girls that I know is part of our community is in. Hi, Janae. Yeah, we're calling you out. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Okay. And funny that I saw your name right when I was talking about the date. So hi, Michael. Welcome. And Claire and Coyote Candles and Sue. And gosh, there's a lot of you on already. Brooke and the Manic Mama, Jody. I think that's Teresa, right? Chris, Terry. All right. Let me grab a little water, and I think it's time to let her rip. So the way I'm going to do, I'm going to talk about a vision that I had. So that's how I'm going to start, and talk about the greatest, in my opinion, the greatest conspiracy. I don't even want to say theory, the greatest conspiracy of them all. And then talk about what's happening the next several months, because this is showtime. This is crunch time. We've been, since the inception of this channel over 2 years ago, we've been talking about this period, and now it's here. And I know a lot of you have been doing a great job preparing, both energetically as well as physically. So we're going to talk a little bit about that also. So I think most people that are going to be here live are here. I don't know if I have my notes. I don't know if I'm going to need my glasses or not. Maybe not. So, by the way, I just noticed that the picture glitched out. We do have some internet hiccups today where I'm living, which is in the mountains. That's not uncommon. So if the picture goes out or whatever, I apologize if there's poor video quality. All right. So let's get this show on the road. And so before September, when those of you that have been here for a while that know the Medium channel, you know that the beginning of the month, I do a psychic forecast and I call on spirit. God, my ring light is blinking on and off. The lights might go out in the middle. Okay, it's been that kind of day. But anyways, I was preparing, and I go into my trance, my channeling. I get messages. One of the things that I saw was an explosion, with a big white explosion, and in my mind, I was thinking, is that like nuclear stuff? But the curious thing is that when I transcribed my notes from doing the automatic writing and channeling, it wasn't in the notes. So I never mentioned that in September. And in hindsight, that would have been an inaccurate psychic prediction, because well, I shouldn't say it didn't happen. We don't know everything that happens and goes on. The news is very selective, in case you didn't realize that yet. Not to shatter anybody's illusions, but the news is very selective. It does not mean the media necessarily lies, but there's deception, and omission of information is every bit of a deception as a lie is. So, we'll go back to that thought in a minute. But anyways, so just a couple of weeks ago, I was doing, I may have been preparing for something. I think I was just meditating with my candle, and I saw that same flash, that same explosion. But then I saw an American flag lying on the grass, just lying on the grass. Then I saw a bunch of people around a bonfire, and they were throwing money in it and burning money in the bonfire. Now, a lot of times when I get visions or messages from spirit, they're symbolic. I don't think literally. a bunch of people are going to go around and throw money, and burn money up. But I do think this is important in terms of that. So let me check in my notes back. So it was about 2 weeks ago, bright flash. Yeah, the conjecture may be a nuclear explosion. All right. And, I think partly this is speaking on big changes with financial stuff, big changes with money, some kind of overthrowing, some level of overthrowing of the government, perhaps a civil war. Is this World War III that's coming up? There's a lot of talk around that now. There's a lot of talk around a nuclear threat. So you're definitely not hearing this from me first, but this may be the first time I've really been talking about it as much as I am now, although that's not true. I'll have to double check, but they're reminding me that I talked about this in my 2022 forecast back last December. But anyway, whatever the case, so my feeling with that is I don't necessarily get that a nuclear war is about to break out. So I don't think, it's time to hit the panic button or anything. But there may be an isolated nuclear attack, probably in Ukraine. I know Chernobyl's there, as well as I think there's 4 or 5 other nuclear plants in that area, maybe somewhere in Europe. Maybe it's not even an attack. Maybe it's a mistake or a fall. But that was interesting. So the astrology, the numerology, I talked a lot about that on Tarot Time. Support big changes in the next several months. One of the biggest reasons that I know, because I'm very much a believer in the connection between numerology and astrology, and that the next is Sharita Star in? No, she's not. But if Sharita Star was in, well, she'll be back to do probably before Election Day, because if you thought the 2020 elections were dicey, let's see, Mars retrograde, a lunar eclipse right on the day at 16 degrees of Taurus. Taurus links in with money, and then Pluto's in Capricorn, as it has been for a long time. That links in with the government, and the USA is in its Pluto return. So it's going to be very messy. There's going to be a lot of changes. So anyway, that was the vision that I had. I think a lot of this is about overturning of the financial systems, the government system, and people just not taking anymore. We're awakening as a society, as a country, a global society. We're awakening, and I'm not just saying awakening to the ills of the world and the deceptions of government and big business. I'm talking about spiritual awakening to energy, and that's true awakening, and that's what we need right now. The more of us that can awaken and awaken to spirit and energy, the more we're going to reach that 100th monkey, and the less severe these next several months will be. So the truth is, nobody knows exactly what's going to happen. We just know that this whole, kin caboodle is going to come down, and we're going to have to figure out how to rebuild it, maybe locally, maybe globally. But we do know there's going to be big changes. The degree of which, exactly how that happens, I don't think, maybe somebody, does know that's very prophetic, but nobody that I know knows exactly what's going to happen. So let me talk about the biggest conspiracy of them all. And I've talked about this a couple of times before. And that is that we are something other than spirit having a human experience at this time. And that conspiracy has been alive and well for many generations. And the programming starts at birth, and it gets perpetuated through society. Now, I'm going to look at my notes because I wrote this down for a reason. So we are something other than spirit, that we are, oops, I don't even know what I wrote there. Okay. Oh, that we are that we are somehow separated from source, and what that leads to is that that it diminishes our power. So part of the greatest conspiracy of all is that we are powerless, that we have to rely on others, governments, corporations, to take care of us, that we cannot take care of ourselves. Part of the greatest conspiracy of all is that we don't have the ability to heal ourselves or to energetically work and to help other people to heal. I have healed myself from things doctors cannot, using mind over matter, using heart brain coherence, using intention, using affirmations. I have recovered from something and survived an event that medicine believes is virtually 100% fatal. And I'm told that I'm a medical miracle, but I'm no miracle. I'm just a human being. I've just tapped into part of myself that society has robbed from most people, and that's our higher power. That when we connect with source, when we understand and we know that we're connected to God and connected to source, we can open up these abilities to heal our bodies, to heal our energy fields, to heal other people, to manifest our reality. So that's another aspect of the greatest conspiracy of all, that we are helpless, that we do not have the power to manifest our reality. And again, we must rely on others. There's a theme here that we must rely on others, that we don't have the power from within, but we are spirit. We are one with source. We are aligned with source. We absolutely do have the power. Another part of the great conspiracy is that money is scarce. Money's not scarce. We've just been programmed with a scarcity mindset, but money exists in as much abundance as water, as food. By the way, talk about food and food shortages. Well, we have the know-how, the technology, and the goods to feed this world several times over, yet over 60%, 50, 60% of this world is hungry and does not know if they're going to eat tomorrow. And that's part of the greatest conspiracy theory of all. Also, we have the resources, so we have to, during this time, learn to be more self-sufficient. We have to reconnect with source, reconnect with spirit, and reconnect with our ultimate power source. We may not be able to rely on drugs and medications, which basically is just trash anyway. So what's another part? Recently, there's food shortages. Well, what we see on the shelves is not food. 80% of that's not food. It's some product that's made from food with a whole lot of chemicals that tears down the body, tears down the energy systems, and robs you of your health and robs you of your power. So you have to learn, that to eat well also. And what else? You need an outside entity to take care of it. All right, I explained that. So I think you guys get the idea. So again, just to be a little repetitive, we talk a lot about conspiracies, conspiracy theories. I don't talk so much about conspiracy theories on the channel for a couple of reasons. One, I don't want to polarize, so that's the main reason. Two, some of these conspiracy theories are actually started by or perpetuated by the ruling parties, the ruling class, to target specific ideologies and specific groups. Like there's right-wing programming, there's left-wing programming, there's a programming specifically targeted to spiritual and new age people. And so some of the conspiracy theories, in my opinion, are absolute nonsense, and are propagated by forces that want to keep us running around in circles and chasing our tails rather than finding the truth. However, that said, many of the conspiracy theories that are out there become conspiracy facts in a matter of months or years. And many of them in the past have come true, and most of them that are real, even the crazy ones, still have some measure of truth. So so there's a lot of that, but it all stems from the greatest conspiracy of all. We are powerful beings. We are spirits. We are gods and goddesses in our own right. And when we tap into that power, we can affect change. We can heal ourselves. We can open up our intuition and start to talk to our guides and our angels and great spirit or God. We can even reverse the aging process. That's been demonstrated through empirical studies. We can bolster our immune system just by doing a simple breathing and visualization technique called heart brain coherence. And that's validated and proven that doing this practice 3 times a day for 10 minutes, according to Joe Dispenza and his data and his empirical data, says that it increases our immunoglobulins by a factor of 50%. So, it kind of like like that's what the vaccines do also. They increase our immunity, and diminish the chances of getting ill. But what's the cost? What are the side effects? It's not known, right? So if you're following the science tells me that it takes 8 to 11 years for a vaccine to go through the system to be validated to be safe for human use, not 8 to 11 months. So you know, so the main thing is, and I'm not saying not to take your vaccines or your medicines or anything like that. I'm just saying that you can empower yourself. There's other ways that you can do things. You can do things synergistically. You can use Western medicine along with empowerment, and along with raising your frequency and vibration. So that's part of the big conspiracy, that we are limited. We cannot raise our vibration and frequency. Well, we can. We're unlimited. We're only limited by our belief systems. And that's part of the great conspiracy. It's a programmed belief system that diminishes our power, diminishes our effectiveness, diminishes our joy and happiness in life, and diminishes our health and well-being. So what do we need to do about this? Of course, I'm going to say prepare, right? Those that fail to prepare to fail. I forgot who's originally said that quote. But here I'm talking more about preparing in consciousness. I mean, I think we all know, we've all heard enough that it's a good idea to have extra food, to have, extra power. There's probably going to be power outages. There's probably going to be internet blackouts. We don't know that for sure, but that seems to be, I think Canada 3 weeks ago had like almost a day long cell phone blackout. So yeah, we're going to see more of these types of things. And knowing what where your local food is, or growing your own food, or having stuff in backup, having supplies, all a good idea. But we kind of know this. So what I want to talk about is preparing energetically and in consciousness. So here's what we need to do. And first and foremost, really, is it's to have a strong daily spiritual routine. You'll have a strong spiritual practice. That's what's going to make the difference. And this is going to help you to withstand the pressure of all the change, the pressure of all the negative energy. Because I do my spiritual work, and I do a lot of clearing, a lot of psychic protection work. I'm still here despite all the negative psychic attacks and whatnot that I've had to deal with, especially lately, I want to say. Um, so it's good to have these tools. How do you protect yourself psychically? I'll link I'll link a video I'll link a few videos when this becomes a video itself in the pinned comments. Um, so have a strong daily practice. Have a strong health regimen, in a routine. Again, most food is junk. Don't let them poison you. It's not only junk, it's addictive. There are addictive chemicals in our food, which is why people know they shouldn't be eating the junk, yet they do. In fact, sugar, just take refined sugar. That's as addictive apparently as cocaine. And they're both crystals. They're six-sided. Crystals have power. Um, and yeah, not to mention the whatever the heck else they put in the food. But it's addictive. They want you to be hooked on the garbage, because then your body cannot function at its optimal. Yes, the human body is actually equipped to handle a certain amount of toxicity. Yeah, we have that built in, but day in and day out, it gets overloaded. But what we put into our body pales in comparison to the energetic toxins that we consume from the society every day. So sometimes we just need to step out and step into our own power. So have a strong health regimen, exercise. I like yoga, martial arts, or qigong, tai chi, walks, anything that's going to help raise energy and keep your body strong, and eat well. Now, what's here is the number one measure of how healthy or how sick we're going to be, is right here. The viruses, they're opportunistic. They're there, and they can make you sick, but they're also opportunistic. And even some of the genetic disorders are opportunistic. I mean, not all of them, obviously, but Some are, and your genetic markers will only tell you how you'll likely get sick if you get out of balance. It doesn't mean because everybody in your family had like liver cancer that you're destined to get it. Just to put that out there. Um, so having a strong health, but also what you put here, that's the most important thing. So I'm going to talk about that in a second. Next thing on my list is balance technology with nature. Technology is a beautiful thing, but it's also a tool for control. It's also an outlet to program the masses and program society. The technology is leading to the metaverse, leading to social credit scores, leading to transhumanism, where we sacrifice an element of our humanity to interface with technology. The last that I checked, technology is man-made, and everything that's man-made is subject to glitches. It's subject to failure. Keep that in mind also. Um, and also the technology, I've got a microphone, I've got a cell phone as my webcam now. I've got a computer in front of me, and gosh darn it, I don't have my I can't even remember the stone that I keep to um, somebody remembers the name of it. No, not selenite. Shoot, I'm having a brain lock right now. Anyway, there's different gemstones that can actually shield from some of the electromagnetic radiation. It's a black shiny stone. I forgot the name of it. It's not obsidian or if it comes back to me, I'll bring it up. So but nature restores that. So all this electromagnetic frequency affects our our energetic fields, our auras are electromagnetic. So I'm inputting all this electricity into my fields right now. But I go out into nature every day, or if it's just the weather's too inclement or cold, I do meditation to bring nature to me. Nature, the energy of nature, the flow of chi through nature will clear all that stuff and will restore you. Balance technology with nature. And the the last thing I wanted to mention is do heart brain coherence or some equivalent practice to that. And this is where this is when I actually had the presence of mind to let me show this to put the link in the comments here. This video is about applying heart brain coherence exercise with healing yourself, healing your body, healing your mind, healing your emotions. Um, it's it's basically gratitude training, gratitude and compassion. And I forgot the other two. I'm trying to remember what Greg Braden says about it. Gratitude, appreciation, um, compassion, and there's something else, and caring. Those four, or any combination of them. Now, gratitude's the master frequency. When you any of these can be the master frequency, and it's not the gratitude itself. You want to cultivate the gratitude to cultivate that frequency. So, in other words, when we feel grateful, it's a frequency, it's a vibration, and and if we cultivate that, then it expands into the brain. So what happens, the heart becomes coherent because hearts want to feel love and gratitude and appreciation and all that stuff. And because the heart and the brain are connected, heart's much stronger than the brain, but they're number one and number two electromagnetic generators in the body. So when we bring the heart into coherence, the brain locks right into coherence. When these two organs start to work synergistically, that's when we start to connect with our superhuman, which isn't superhuman, it's just dormant abilities, psychic abilities, healing abilities. We can heal cancer. We can do this. We can heal MS. We can even heal schizophrenia, although that's a tough one. But it's been shown that that's possible virtually. And I'll say virtually everything because there's exceptions to every rules. And sometimes our illnesses are our soul's choice of what we're meant to experience in this lifetime. So no, it's not 100%, not across the board. There's exceptions. But that said, it's the mind. And when you blend the mind and the heart, then you become coherent with spirit. And then you start to open up to more energy. Then the DNA codes start to awaken, and you start to awaken to greater and higher abilities. and so forth and so on. So one last thing I wanted to mention before we sign off, being that we're almost a half hour already, and I promise not to be here too long today. Today's 1010. We're still in the full moon energy. 10 in Chaldean numerology is the wheel of fortune. In tarot, key 10 is the wheel of fortune. 10 reduces to 1, so it's solar ruled. The full moon is in Aries. That's the first sign, so that's an initiation. This is just like the pinnacle time to do some manifestation work. So later tonight, maybe light a candle and visualize that you're already living your dreams, and make it so real in your mind that it's more real than your physical reality. And then when you add heart brain coherence and the heart and the brain lock in, and you become grateful for that. If you can be grateful for an event or something that hasn't happened yet physically, then your subconscious mind starts to attract it to you. And then you start to affect the quantum, which in time affects the macro, basically meaning that our thoughts do affect physical reality. That's demonstrated in quantum theory. So do that. 1010, go into that manifestation portal, take advantage of this full moon, and manifest something really amazing and cool. So yeah, prepare, but this is the time to really start to prepare energetically. Get a daily spiritual routine down. My routine, I wake up, I do what's called supernatural breathing from Joe Dispenza, although the exercise is very akin to some of the yogic breaths that I do. And one of his teachers was Ramtha, or is Ramtha. So I'm pretty sure that he got this maybe even from Kundalini yoga, but still, he coined it and he refined it, and talks a lot about what that does with the endocrinology, with the hormones in the body. So I start out with that. That gets me up and going. I literally like roll or slither out of bed in the morning. I'm not a morning person, and slither in the right pillow. I do this breathing 2 or 3 minutes, and then I'm awake, because one of the things that the breath does is it converts the melatonin in the brain to serotonin, through the squeezing of the spinal fluid, and through the spinal column and into the brain, into the brain stem and into the brain. Then I do roughly an hour of meditation, sometimes less, rarely more, but so maybe 40 minutes to an hour. I do that. I do cold showers. Now, my routine doesn't have to be yours. And we're getting to that time of year where the cold showers are starting to get real here in the Catskill Mountains. So I think the water's now made it to the upper 40s, and at the peak of winter, we get down to anywhere between, I think, 39 to 42 with the water temperature, like cold enough to stick your leg in, and for first your leg to hurt, and then for it to go numb cold. So I do this Kundalini yoga taught me that. Then the shaman I studied in South America told me to do cold showers, and then Wim Hof also with his cold therapy. So like my friend Patricia Heller says in her book, when you hear the message 3 times, listen. I heard the message 3 times, I listened. I started doing cold showers. Then I have a little tea. I do my yoga. Then I spend my day serving spirit, either doing my video work or doing readings and sessions and stuff like that. Then I have an evening routine. I do some prayers, some candle work, some meditation, some more yoga. So I live almost like a monk, basically. You don't have to go to that extreme, but this is the time to start a good foundational daily spiritual practice, and you make it count. The idea is that as we continue forward, the frequencies on the earth continue to increase. That taxes the nervous system, that taxes the body, and it taxes our energy fields. Add to that all the programming, all the pressures from society to get us to conform, to get us to turn against each other, to get us divided so that they can conquer us, to take away rights, to allegedly interfere with the food supplies, and allegedly the gasoline and other things, and money and financial. Like I said, money. I mean, they're printing money every day. Money is there in abundance. We have to know that and own that and understand that, not to buy into the lack mentality. So So anyhow, thank you, guys. I kind of left in the middle of a point, and I think I'm about done, so I can't remember what I was about to say. But um, yeah. But in any event, that's the idea, is to, yeah, as you get and do a lot of grounding too. Yeah, when we're grounded, then we can withstand more pressure, just like the white pines can't withstand the winds here. They blow down because the root systems are shallow. We want deep root systems. We can withstand all that pressure from society. You're trying to get us to conform, to disempower us, basically. So that's the biggest conspiracy theory of them all, that you're less powerful than you really are, that you're less than a spirit, all powerful, almighty spirit, one with God, one with source, having a human experience. And we can draw on that power to heal and to perfect our lives, and to grow, evolve, and to make a difference in this world, and to understand what our life calling is. All that knowledge is in here, how to make money and survive, because that vision suggests that the value of money, or the meaning of money, is changing. The other vision I mentioned in the beginning, with burning the money in the bonfire. We have to think outside of the box, like the Gallo brothers did during the Great Depression, and wound up making millions when everybody was losing their houses and their shirt, basically. So we have to, it's all in here. And when we clear that programming, and doing heart brain coherence, and breathing and all that stuff will assist in that, and will do it for you. Then you start to access what's here. You start to access what your life purpose is, what you're meant to do during this time of this great shift and this great awakening here on planet Earth. And how you can thrive financially, physically, emotionally, and on all levels, because you deserve that. We all deserve that. We're here. We're a community. We're a community of the heart. So anyway, I guess I'll leave this up till we end, just in case somebody wants to jump onto the video. So that's what I have for you. This Thursday, I'm going to be doing a live rather than an upload this week. We'll give Heather a break from preparing and editing the video. And I'm going to show you what I do in the evening. It's I call it the Ascension breath exercises. I've shared some of these before in a couple of other videos, but now they gave me a whole routine. So I'm going to do that. If you're wondering what maybe you can do to empower yourself, to make your energy field stronger, to allow your nervous systems, your bodies, to adapt more easily to the higher frequencies that keep increasing. Well, the master teachers, the group that I channel, has been giving me this information, and I've been doing it, and it's quite amazing, and it's not that hard to do. So I'm going to share that with you on Thursday in a live stream at 7. All righty then, I'm out. Thank you for everybody for being here. I love you. And those of you that jumped in later on, as soon as I end, go to the channel and find this as a video, and you can catch up on the beginning. And have a great night. Happy 10/10. Happy birthday to the birthday girls.